Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics, and in this video I'd like to discuss what Elon Musk has blundered again at the weekend on Twitter. And for those of you wondering what this has got to do with politics, well, just what it means for political news. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, please subscribe to the channel. So I'm going to begin by explaining the importance of Twitter for political news before I go over what that idiot Space Karen has done now with his latest goof. So all of the main social media platforms have all got their uses to various people. But Twitter is really of vital importance for political discourse in a way that no other platform can manage. To the point where I keep thinking, really, I would like Twitter to be run by the UN, not be privately owned. So let me tell you what I use Twitter for to explain. So I discuss political news daily on this channel. YouTube, absolutely ideal for this sort of content. But where do I get my information from? I mean, I discuss Westminster politics mostly, but I don't live in London. I read reports in the media, both mainstream, not so mainstream, but there's a filter there to what I'm reading because it's been written from a point of view. Some outlets are better than others, but they're all writing it from a particular point of view. Twitter allows me to get the facts and opinions from behind the news outlets. You know, the people that journalists approach for their insights are often on Twitter and sharing those same insights in a completely unfiltered way for the world to see. For me, YouTube and Twitter have completely different uses. See, I use YouTube to share a message. So I built up the channel to get that message out to as many people as I could. But Twitter is different. I use Twitter to listen, not so much to speak. I follow experts in human rights laws, constitutional and public law, tax law. I follow trade and haulage experts, statisticians and pollsters, medical experts, economists, political experts and politicians, which are rarely the same thing. Over the past year, I've been following military strategy experts, as well as people who will explain Russian and Ukrainian politics and culture. Whenever there's an important political story, there are people who have expert insights, and you can find them on Twitter. And this is a threat to the right wing. Why? Well, it's not because they don't like the platform. I mean, they use it a lot. It's actually sometimes quite funny when you see those on the right go, oh, Twitter's not the general public, it's not the general public, which is true, it's not. But if they're so dismissive of the platform, why do they spend so much time every single day tweeting their own views? Plenty of right-wing commentators, loads of tweets a day. Because although Twitter is not the general public, it is used by absolutely everyone with any influence on policy. Because, as I say, it's a platform that allows you to get bite-sized insights from those who have the facts at their fingertips. It is a threat to the right wing because it bypasses their own filter. When so much of the media in the US and the UK is bought and paid for by right-wing billionaires specifically to persuade their respective populations to vote against their own interests, they have spent centuries controlling the flow of information to the general population, and social media threatens that monopoly of information. And Twitter is the main place to get the first-hand information. YouTube's great, but most experts don't produce videos on what's going on. Way easier to throw out a Twitter thread or link to an article that they've written in more usual media or on a blog site. Facebook is too closed to be able to do what Twitter does. You know, when Musk started monkeying about, some went to Mastodon. That's a load of rubbish. I could sort of see that might be all right if you already know who to follow and you know how to follow them, but it's not a platform to be able to find new people to follow. Twitter's an absolute bastion against right-wing disinformation. You know, this will certainly be why Musk bought it, although I think in the end it was a bit of an accident. But although he seems to be crushing the platform, I don't think it's the intention to do so. Like $44 billion or something, 40-something billion dollars. That is too much for anyone to throw away, even Musk. The reason Twitter's failing is not because he is deliberately dismantling it, but just because he's a colossal idiot. Take this weekend, latest example. So on Saturday, we start getting messages that we're having tweets rationed. But those who are verified, you know, paid a bit of money, they get more rations. Musk had apparently turned Twitter into a Soviet-era bakery. You know, I thought it was another clumsy attempt to get people to sign up for paid memberships. Because the problem is he doesn't understand the value of Twitter. So he's trying to get people to pay. I would absolutely pay for a membership on Twitter if I was going to get value from it. But he gets it the wrong way round. Like I say, I'm on Twitter to listen. Will me paying a membership fee keep the people I listen to on the platform? No. If the fee was somehow being used to incentivize those content creators to keep them on the platform, to attract them to the platform, yes, that would incentivize me to pay. But the way Musk is trying to push paid memberships actually drives those people away. So by my paying a membership, I'm actually making Twitter worse. Twitter is basically getting free content from people who can command high fees for speaking on any other platform. And Space Karen is actually chasing them away. That's his business model. Sounds like a great scam for the very right-wing Musk, doesn't it? But then we remember Hanlon's razor. Never ascribe to malice that which may be explained by incompetence. It turned out there was no deliberate move at all. Twitter was being hosted on Google Cloud, but the contract expired on Friday, just before all the trouble started. Coincidence. Musk decided he didn't want to pay the $1 billion bill to continue the arrangement. And so obviously it's presumably at the moment being hosted somewhere else. I don't know where, but he hadn't fully migrated it come the end of that contract. So he hadn't completed whatever process he was working on. So the platform became unstable and they had to limit access. So then instead of just saying that, he had to come up with some convoluted reason why they were doing it, which made no sense to any data analyst. And this is ultimately the root cause of all of the problems of Twitter. Yes, Musk wanted to stop it being a counter to the usual billionaire-owned media. He wanted to turn it into his own Fox or something. But he won't have wanted to actually set fire to that $44 billion. He thought he would just change the way it works. He also thought he could cut down on expenses by just getting rid of his engineers and the system would still work. He's basically an idiot. You know, people think, oh, he's got all these valuable companies that he's some sort of genius. No, he's not. He's an idiot. If people didn't realise it before, then how he has managed Twitter over the past year provides ample demonstration. You know, I talked recently about the stupidity chart, I think. Elon Musk, he thinks he's the bandit, causing loss to others but deriving benefit from himself. No, he's just stupid. He's causing loss to others but also himself. He may well destroy Twitter. There have been massive platforms in the past that were bought by other billionaire idiots and then became worthless fairly quickly. No reason to suppose that Twitter is immune. I'm pleased that people are still sticking with it. I have to say, despite many describing how the platform isn't working for them, I'm actually still getting full value from it. Musk actually hasn't diminished the value of it for me. But it may well be that Musk does break it at some point, and that'll be that. It's not just the best platform for the sort of information it provides, it's the only one. Like I say, YouTube is absolutely superb, but for an expert, they haven't got the time to be doing videos, and then you'd have to watch the video, even if it's just 5 minutes or so. You just scroll through tweets. You can see, you can gather so much wisdom on Twitter quite quickly and easily. Twitter is the only platform that does it. It's not just that there are other platforms that aren't quite as good, but you know, it'd be better than nothing if this collapses. There aren't any that do the same thing. Everything else is too closed. Everything's too closed. The problem with Twitter is that it is incredibly useful for sharing information, but it never really had a great business model. Space Karen thought he could fix it by just getting rid of the staff who run the platform. And now it seems by not paying for maybe the best hosting service, it seems. But this, it's like Brexit, isn't it? It's like I kept saying about Brexit. It's like quitting your job to save on the petrol. It's a level of thinking that could never exist in the mind of an actual genius. What we have is one of the very few genuinely valuable social media platforms in the hands of a cretinous man-child. But there we are. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Hope you found the video interesting. If you did, please click the like button. And if you'd like to support the channel further, the join button for memberships. And until next time, I'll see you later.